Hello, today for review I've got true wireless in-ear monitors made by Kinera model YH623. I got them a pair of months ago. Actually, they waited in the queue for pretty long, but now I'm running out of review gadgets and I'm cleaning up my queue, so now it's their turn. So let's talk about them. Mainly I've got them because of good specs and stylish design, because they are built really nicely. Price is from $70 to $75, and actually they support AAC, aptX. They are built using recent Qualcomm QCC 3020 chip, so they have all the potential to become a good model. Box is traditional and it's common for Kinera, hexagonal box. It looks attractive and definitely differs the company from other manufacturers. So custom 6mm micro driver, Bluetooth 5.0, so and touch controls. Inside of the box you will have small card with social network information, two additional pairs of tips, charging cable, and short manual with information. So here is sensor operator, so you can increase and reduce volume, you can pause play, you can skip the song, so basically all necessary controls are present here. And of course you will also have a case with in-ear monitors themselves. Built really nicely, good looking plastic. On the back side USB-C for charging, and it's small and reliable. As usual, company's logo and motto. Nice magnets holding the lid, and here are earpieces themselves. No LED indicators on case to show the charge status. Actually, they support from 6 to 7 hours from single charge and 3 additional charges in the case, so it's close to 20 hours of work time or so. As usual, you take them out, they boot up and start pairing mode. As you can see, design is extremely stylish. Nice blue color with unusual glossy surface. Really attractively looking. Nice ergonomic shape, fitting pretty good inside of ears. Medium spout in terms of length, and sound isolation is also about average, but there is a lip for holding the tips, protective grill, all that stuff that I pay closer attention. Unfortunately, here used reduced size tips, so I'm not a fan of that. I prefer true wireless models with full size tips. It's open yet much better level of comfort, but they hold really well inside of ears, at least inside of mine ears. Touch controls are pretty sensitive, so sometimes you will activate it just by putting them inside of your ears or pulling them out. Connection quality is nice. Thanks to this Qualcomm chips, they hold connection really well. Maybe only when you enter some area with a lot of Wi-Fi networks or other interference you can experience some hiccups. Background noise level is really quiet, so no big issues here. Of course, you can use separately left earpiece, right earpiece, or both simultaneously, so all that features are present here. And also what is important to know about them, they have a slight delay between video and audio, but it's common for almost all true wireless models, and this model has one of the smallest delays. So most probably you won't get an issue with it, but in some rare cases it's possible. Anyway, really stylishly built, really good looking, attractive, with nice package and good presentation. And the traditional microphone test. I'm filming this part of the video using the in-ear monitor's built-in microphone. I won't apply any equalization or gain correction here, so this part will give you an idea of how the built-in microphones of this true wireless in-ear monitor sounding. And of course about the sound. Kinera decided to make a bit bass heavy model for those who like added low frequencies. Actually it's pretty logical because they position this model like for active usage, if I remember right. They even have some degree of sweat protection, so it's like the model for street wearing, and in that cases adding additional low frequencies is a nice thing. So let's have some player on the table. Not like Fuse M15 is critically necessary for this test, but actually it's just a player to use to show the illustration tracks. So of course you can pair them with smartphones or any other source. Most important thing is to have the aptX codec. Anyway, sound is pretty bassy with accented low frequencies, and this gives them fun, engaging bass. It's of course not the most resolving, and neither it's the deepest, because lossy codecs cutting the deeper low frequencies. But anyway, depth is normal, not super, but normal, and of course it's like boosted low frequencies with normal resolution, not something dry or super resolving like balanced armatures or some fast dynamic driver with wired connection, but resolution is normal, pretty okay in texturing. Acoustic instruments sounding a bit oversized, but synthesized low frequencies with electronic music, with pop music and other genres like that, sounding pretty engaging and pretty pleasant. So just like in-ear monitors with accented low frequencies. And as an example, I've got not this track, so I already show all the test tracks. So of course the Antwoord cookie Thumper, it's a perfect test track for this. In-ear monitors, like any normal bass head model, they have accented low frequencies, and at the same time upper mids are detailed enough to give you this contrast between accented lows and Yolandi's voice. So pretty normal in-ear, actually not even normal, good in-ear monitors for such genres and styles. As you can see, sensor controls are working. I simply touch them and playback started. So bass is more or less well controlled, but of course because it's boosted, it's shadowing mid sometimes. It's just unavoidable thing. If you have accented low frequencies, they time to time on the bass heavy track they will shadow the mids. It's just pure physics, and probably there is no in-ear monitor that can have boosted lows and at the same time they won't shadow the mid frequencies. Mids are typical dynamic driver, don't expect some micro details focus, and moreover Kinera even shifted them a bit towards the warmer signature, even more reducing the resolution. It's not bad, it's like average in terms of resolution. They're not created to be the most detailed or the most nitpicking. Of course they are forgiving for the quality of record, and they are okay with lossy compression, so streaming media on the smartphone is totally okay for them. They won't highlight any issues with track or with mastering or with other things like that. They have really good amount of emotions, nice weight for the instruments and for the vocal. Sometimes female vocals sounding a bit not sharp enough, but it's not really often. Imaginary stage is a bit below average in width and in depth. It's common for the warm in-ear monitors, and of course it's common for the true wireless model, so it's not the model created for the most spacious three-dimensional sound. It's just not the case. So it's, and as an example for the mid frequencies, I've got pretty unusual album. I was a big fan of this album some time ago. It's the Krupps and For Whom the Bell Tolls. So it's one of the most influential groups on the German industrial metal scene. Once decided to make a tribute album to Metallica, and they did it in a really engaging way. I really recommend it to you. It's like the total resort of classical Metallica's heritage, but at the same time, you know, it's familiar tunes but with totally different arrangement, and it's sounding pretty fresh. Of course, it's pretty aggressive in terms of record, and these in-ear monitors sometimes lacking a bit of that aggression, but at least they clean enough to play this track without throwing everything into one big pile of sound. And treble has average extension. It's common for the wireless models. Once again, I repeat it in almost all wireless reviews, so it's only average in terms of extension, but if you're looking for better treble extension, just get some wired mode model. And in terms of resolution, it's also softened and even a bit more than mid, so Kinera wanted to create the polite representation. So the treble here is enough to play the basic part of the tune, but of course it's lacking overtone saturation, it's lacking layering and all that airness and other stuff. But with basic tones they are pretty okay. And as an example, I've got Pink Floyd, Time. It's a typical test track for the treble because this clock ticking and alarm clock in the beginning, it's pretty treble intensive and it requires treble layering. But of course it's not the perfect in-ear monitors for this track, but anyway, at least it has a normal amount of treble to play it. It's not sounding super realistic and not super spacious, but at least it's present, because some bass-heavy models are softening this part even more. So once again, warmer bass-heavy signature for those who like such tuning, but treble is present, so it compensates low frequencies a little bit, so they don't sounding too claustrophobic. I need to pause that. In terms of comparisons, you know, here Kinera did one thing wrong. They overpriced these in-ear monitors a little bit. They are in the price segment where every $20 matter, because for $70 or so you can get Astrotech S80, and it's more natural tuning and more natural sounding, and closer competitors for these in-ear monitors lies somewhere at the $50 range or so. So to summarize this part and to summarize actually the review, if you be able to grab them with some discount and I don't know, for $50 it's a good choice for the bass-heavy in-ear monitors. Also, if you're looking for model as a gift, for example, for your wife or for your sister, for example, it's also a nice option because it looks really attractive. My wife, for example, likes them pretty much. But of course it's not the audiophilic model, not created for those who like to get maximum resolution or so. So it was Kinera's YH623. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.